Welcome back! My name is ballerscuba. This is Video Games Over Time! We are still in 1986 and we are still in King's Quest III. When we last left off, I said I was going to do some waiting. I have started doing that, as you can see. I believe I need to wait until about 1 hour and 30 seconds, give or take, for Manannan to show up again. You guys saw, it took a little bit more than 10 minutes, I think, so I figured I would just take care of that off screen, but we have another cycle of Manannan down, and as far as I can tell, we should be good to go from here. I think, right at 28 seconds. Gwydion, I have awakened. I am ravenous. Fix me something already. And luckily, we do already have the poisoned porridge on us, so we should be good to go. Same as last time. So he's kind of in a cycle now of around for... let's actually give this to him. Around for 5 minutes, then takes a 25-minute nap, then wakes up and needs food. You place the food on the dining table before the hungry wizard. Ravenously, he devours every bit of it. And I'm just going to sit here and watch him do it, apparently. That's not suspicious at all. You will need to feed him the fruit and the meat and porridge if you don't have everything ready. And then you can kind of repeat the cycle over and over. The porridge will respawn for you every time. But my understanding is most people try to get it done in that first cycle. You fooled him! Manannan didn't realize the porridge was tainted and ate the whole bowl. And we did it! The music was struggling a little bit there. We did it! Congratulations! Manannan will never again enslave you or the people of Llewdor. At last you are free! Can I pet the cat? You'd better get on with your quest. Manannan is no longer a bother to anyone. Look at cat. Manannan will never annoy anyone again. So we have finished everything that we need to do with Manannan. Manannan is now taken care of permanently. As far as I know, he will never not be a cat at this point. So we are going to move on. We are going to head back to our bedroom and get all of our stuff that we were not allowed to have when Manannan was human. But now he is no longer human and we should be good to go. Which side? Yeah, top side. There we go. And then I think this one is top side as well. So we have done it. We have dealt with one of the spots where I'm going to have to wait. I know there is another one coming up, so we will just kind of have to deal with that when we get there. So let's go back to my room and get all my stuff, like I said, and we can start teleporting around and start using some of the spells that I, tried so hard to get. Am I too high, too low, too high, apparently. Take all. It's because although we did kind of deal with spells and kind of create them, we haven't actually used them too much, other than to make the cookie. But for now, we are going to actually need to do a little bit more. Okay, so let's go back to the tavern. We haven't been inside the tavern, but it's over here. So right about there. And so it shall be. And I spawn right in front of the tavern, which is nice. We have some work to do. I am going to drop another save here because things can be a little weird. Ignore all the stuff here. We're just going to call it tavern. I missed something. I recorded and I missed it. And I was determined to get everything. So we're doing it all again. So I have a little idea what I'm doing. All right. In the tavern we go. One of the surly-looking characters yells to the barmaid, "Wench, come o'er here with more ale." All right. Once he does that, we're going to say dip fly wings in essence. Okay. And we have turned into a fly. And this gives us flight. You overhear snatches of the two bandits' conversations. squirm just like a pig. And that rope you rigged inside of that big oak tree works great. Now nobody will find our hideout. I'll bet even that wizard. And that is what we needed to hear. So let's fly outside, and then we will go west. I know it doesn't always look like we're going kind of the proper way, but as long as that little dot keeps moving, I'm going to say we're going the right way. We want to go west twice. It's not the hole on the tree on this screen. It is the next screen. So we will head there, and then we will go over here, kind of up, like there's probably good, and then we want to, I think down? It's so hard to gauge distance. All right, in your insect form, you fit easily through the hole in the tree, and this is what I missed last time, so we'll see what happens here. You have flown through the hole at the base of the tree and are now inside the hollow trunk. You see a rope leading up into a small hole above you. This area is cramped and confining even for a fly. So you go back outside, and we'll stop it there. And then fly be gone, myself return. The impulse to buzz around has vanished. You feel yourself growing bigger, so you head for what you hope is a safe place to land, which is usually the teleport spot. We'll fly over there and eventually turn back into a human. Okay, so that got us 5 points. I'm not entirely sure why we needed to do that, but we did. All right, we will teleport next all the way up here. If you remember, there was a spider web and a cave over there. Now going close to it, a giant spider shows up, as I'm sure you might imagine, so we're just going to deal with that right away. Let's save here and call this one... we'll replace this one because I don't care. There'd be no pirates. I don't know what you're talking about. Spider web. So this is where... the game, well, the guide that I have recommends that I save because sometimes apparently you just don't get the points. Last time I got the points, so we'll see what happens this time. Dip eagle feather in essence. And now we have turned into an eagle. And as an eagle, you can't like fly straight up, but eventually I will get there. We're at 152 now. And now we're at 156. So I did get the 4 points that I need for that. You swoop close to the spider web and find the huge spider guarding the entrance. Taking her in your beak, you vow to get rid of her once and for all. Yeah, that spider would have caused some nasty things for us if we had just walked over. But now that we're an eagle that's maybe half the size of the spider, maybe a little bit bigger, we can take care of it. After all, some birds do eat some spiders, but that's still kind of weird that that's how that goes. But just because of the size difference. But we dropped the spider in the ocean. The spider is weak to water. You can drown spiders. I guess why not? But that's how you deal with the spider in this one. I'd rather have like a dagger or a sword. Maybe something that's a sword for people my size, but what do I know? And eventually we just kind of go back. Your magic spell is wearing off. And now we can go in the cave. In we go. You have entered the cave of the oracle. You are almost afraid to speak. This is going to be important. This is actually going to tell us what we can do moving forward. Like, what do we do now, Oracle? I've defeated my enslaver. The Oracle remains silent for a long time. Finally, you hear a hollow voice that seems to come from far away. I've been waiting for you a long time, Gwydion. I have sorrowful news for you. Years ago, a terrible three-headed dragon invaded Daventry. Daventry? From the first two games? It's about time. and keeps the people in a state of terror. This monster requires once a year the sacrifice of a young maiden. Oh no! There's the dragon! Just one head, though. Oh, no, those are the 3 heads. And in its eye, it sees the young maiden. Sadly, your own sister, Princess Rosella, is the chosen one for this year. Time is running out for her, your parents in Daventry. Wait, if my sister's the princess... Hold on, I can do this. That makes me... No time to think about it. We need to watch the princess cry. What else do you have to tell me, Oracle? You, Gwydion, the hollow voice continues, are the only one who can save them. But you must hurry. I have something to give you, a small stone of amber. Use it wisely, my friend. The Oracle grows silent and seems to fall into a deep sleep. You attempt to thank the Oracle, but the Oracle does not respond. We get 3 points for getting that amber stone. We are done here, so let's go ahead and teleport back to the sketchy territory. And we will see what I can do to get back into the house. Unfortunately, don't you dare. I'll be back. All right, with a save in hand, let's try this again. This time I shouldn't have any trouble. I think that's the first time in a long time that I've actually fallen in sketchy territory. I feel like I should not have fallen there, but, you know, if just a hair of his foot is in the wrong spot, you just fall to your doom. That's just how it works. Now I'm being super careful. And you know what? Save. Sketchy territory again. Okay. There we go. This is the hard part. As long as I get through here, it should be fine. I do have to like tap up a few times to make that work. We should be good there. Right in the middle. And then up this side. Stay as far up as you can go. And then like once we make it through that one tough spot, going up's not too bad. I just wish that I could teleport all the way up the way that I can teleport all the way down, so I don't have to go down quite as, up as much. I like not being able to go down. Okay, so we made it back to the house. Open the door, and back into the study we go. Now, even though Manannan is fully dealt with, I don't think that the game, like, fully realizes that when I do other things. So when I open the cabinet here, we're probably still going to lock it back up. Even though we don't have to. We can just take the wand and move on with our day. Like, we don't, you know, we still relock it. No reason to do that at this point, as far as I know. Oh, not open. Move book. And I did double check, and my points are good now. So as long as I do everything that I'm supposed to, we should get full points. But I thought that before, and then I realized I forgot to fly into the tree as a fly, which apparently was important enough for 5 points. I don't remember what we got out of that, but I just kind of reached in and grabbed the thing. Well, I have to fly in as a fly first. I'm not entirely sure. But we have another spell to make, so we're going to head down here and make another spell, and then we can figure out what we need to do to go save Daventry. And let's face it, we all figure it out. Our dad, King Graham of Daventry. After all, I'm the prince, right? So what happened? How did I get kidnapped? So we need to make a spell first, then we can try to figure that out. It's on page 7, so VII. All right, grind salt in mortar. You place a spoonful of coarse salt grains in the mortar, then using the stone pestle, you grind the salt until it is very fine. Grind mistletoe. No. Mistletoe in mortar. I'm like, that didn't feel right. Placing the dried sprig of mistletoe in the stone mortar, you crush it with the pestle. Then we can rub... Oh, soon you have a crushed mixture of salt and mistletoe in the mortar. You remove the pestle and lay it aside. Then we can rub the stone in the mixture. You place the beautiful amber stone in the stone mortar. Very carefully, so as not to miss a single spot, you rub the amber stone around in the mixture of ground salt and mistletoe. When you have finished, you remove the amber stone and discard the remaining powder. Now, it is mistletoe, so we kiss it. We kiss the stone. Smack. All right. With this kiss, comma, I thee impart power most dear to my heart. Take me now from this place hither to another place far thither. Then we will wave the wand. You wave the magic wand over the encrusted amber stone. Successfully completing the spell, you again look at the wizard's laboratory. All right, we are done here, and I believe we are basically done in Llewdor. So let's try to figure out how to get out of here. How do we get to Daventry? So what we need to do is go back to the tavern, because somebody else will be there now. Spoilers. Somebody else is there. No guesses as to who it's going to be. All right, let's open the door. And, oh, just casual seamen. Yes, one of the rowdy seamen yells to the barmaid, "Wedge, come over here with more rum." Rum. They have striped patterns. That one appears to be the captain. I'm sure it's all on the up and up. Let's go ahead and talk to the captain. The sailors peer at you through bleary eyes and continue swilling their rum. One, who looks like the captain, pauses and drunkenly slurs, "Aye, me bucko, be ye wanting a passage on me ship? What you running from? It's no matter, so long as you got gold. Let's me see how much you got." And then we can... where am I? There we go. Give gold to captain. As you bring out the purse, the captain snatches it from your hand and says, "Aye, lad, I sees you do have a wee bit of gold. It's less than me regular fare, but I'll gives you passage anyways. We'll be waiting for you at the wharf, but not for long." The captain and his men down their rum in one long draft, then leave the tavern. I've never understood why that's pronounced draft, but that's how it works. All right, let's go ahead and head out. Let's get on our ship of totally up and up seamen. It's only a matter of time before they find the sea women too. Let's, there's not much going on necessarily. Well, this screen is kind of new. But we have been here before. I don't believe the ship was here before. This plank definitely wasn't here before. Let's try to do this just right. You can die there. You can die everywhere. And once we're on board, as the gangplank is drawn in, you hear the captain shout to his men, "Take his things and put him in the hold until I figures out what to do with them. You have a sneaking suspicion that you have made a big mistake. These are pirates." Oh, who could have figured that one out? But you do have to do it. We get a pirate jingle. Nothing like a little salt air to perk up a boy's spirits. All things being equal, you might have enjoyed this ocean voyage. However, you have found your accommodations to be slightly less than satisfactory. But we get jaunty music. Uh-oh. The jaunty music has gone away. Whatever shall I do? All right, and we are in the hold, or the old. What we need to do is head over here, which, yeah, you can go to the right of the pole, and eventually you will see a small little box here. Now, these mice are very important. Do you know where the pirates are taking us? One gray mouse asks the other. I heard them talking about a buried treasure chest, the other mouse answers, and I think it's buried on a beach, and they're going to dig it up. Oh, I remember, squeaks the first mouse. Remember when they first buried the treasure? It was on a small beach, and behind the beach was a high mountain range. I remember hearing one pirate say that nobody has ever crossed those mountains alive. So, as it turns out, those mice are very important. They tell you basically all about this buried treasure. But for now, we are going to take the box, and I'll just, yeah, I probably will have to, well, we'll get there when we get there. I'll probably have to cut out a lot of the mouse's conversation, the mice's, mouse, whatever. All their conversations out, simply because I'll be doing other things. And so then we will, I'll just tell you where that buried treasure is, but they're the ones that will tell you that. From here, we can drop the box. Then, this is where I'm going to drop the save, and we will call this one, here's good. Thar be pirates. Who would have guessed? All right, so then we need to jump on the crate. You can only jump a little bit, so you have to kind of set that up properly. Jump crate, and jump again, and now we're on the ladder, and this is how we can escape. Let's climb up here, and we want to go out to the right from here. I fell, but that's not death. Notice the captain on the left. We're going to ignore him for now. And sometimes a pirate will show up here. You just have to go back to the other screen, and then he won't chase you anymore. We'll take the shovel from here. Then we'll go back over to the left, and the captain is gone. So we will head over here. And if I fail, it's not the worst thing in the world. And I'll show why later. Go over here, open this treasure chest, and take all. Found all of your missing possessions. You take them with you. Now let's get out of here before the captain shows up. Sometimes he just randomly shows up like that. And I'm out of the room, so I think I'm good. He's just going back to his spot. All right, let's climb down the ladder. Careful not to die here. And we have done everything that we can do on the ship. That was it. That was everything. So at this point, we want to head over to the right, hang out with the mice, because they're the ones that will give us more details on the buried treasure. But essentially, we just wait now for like 5 to 10 minutes. There is a part of me that wants to just kind of leave this in and just have a casual conversation, but I think we will cut this out, and I will meet you on the other side, and then I'll tell you what the mice told me, and we'll figure out where the buried treasure is. See you on the other side. All right, about 11 minutes later, you hear one of the pirates shout, "Land ho, Captain!" All right, so I'm going to drop a save here because I don't like waiting. Waiting over. We'll call it that. And just in case I die, which is probably likely at this point, I have that to save to go back to so that I can not have to wait for 11 minutes again. All right, let's jump on the crate. Jump on the next crate. Luckily, he knows what I mean. Jump up there. Oh, wait, hold on. Before I do any of that. Right, the waiting's not over. Waiting is over, but I need to actually do the thing. I got ahead of myself. All right, we're going to pour sleep flat powder on the floor. And then we're going to say, "Slumber henceforth." As your sleep spell takes effect, a silence suddenly descends over the ship. That's important. I have put all of the pirates to sleep. Now we can leave and do all the things that I need to do. When you make me wait around, get antsy and want to skip steps. All right, jump crate, jump, and we will climb up here. And I believe the captain will be asleep in his bed. There he is. All right, up there. Try to do this carefully because you can die falling from the ladder there, and then we will go off to the right. That's fine. That wasn't enough to kill. All right, and then we'll drop down this. Sure, that's how climbing down a ladder functions. And then we will head over to the right here. And I think I fall off the side and we automatically start swimming. You want to swim to the right. Oh, there's some fish. We're going to stay close to the edge, the bottom edge of the screen. And there's a reason for that. Because a shark might show up. And we'll keep trying here. Trying to evade the shark. Gosh, you barely made a mouthful for that hungry shark. Okay, so we try this again. This time I'm going to save when I get into the water. Slumber henceforth. Like, even at this stage of the game, the randomness can get me. Because the shark isn't supposed to always show up. The mice did tell me about the shark, but they also told me exactly where the treasure was. They have lots of conversations. That's why you're supposed to wait on that side. I believe that you can wait on this side of the hold as well, and then you just won't have the mice conversation, which is fine if you just want to set it and walk away, but the mice give you the valuable information that you're going to need. Okay, all the way up to the top. This time, don't fall. Thank you. Climb down here. Just motor on down the ladder. Okay. And go off the side. Yeah, sometimes, like, there's a certain spot where you can't seemingly do it. All right. Bandit burglar. Yeah, that was a while ago. Swimming lessons. Like I said, we want to essentially stay on the southern side here and just kind of hope for the best on the shark. It doesn't always show up. Maybe it does always show up. But we need to just constantly reset the shark. I feel like I'm good here. All right, we made it, and we got 5 points for making it to the shore. Then we can... Oh, the shark is here too. Okay, so then we can stand right in front of the tree. This is what we were told. The lone palm, where there's mountains in the background, beach in front, lone palm, 5 paces east. 1, 3, 4, 5. And dig. And I should know if I got it. Looks good. You have uncovered a small chest. You remove it from the hole and open it. Inside you find precious gems and ingots of gold and silver. You close the chest and take it and its contents with you. Just shoved it somewhere, I guess. Then we want to go north and then east, and we have more sketchy territory. Yeah, there's still a lot of places to die. We're close to the end of the game. You can see it on the score, right? Like, we're getting there. And yet, I'm still nervous about things. We want to take the upper path to the left. And climb up the rock in the center. I assume they don't mean that. No, they mean this. Okay, so we have a new sketchy territory save. And climb rock. There, okay, thank you. And over to the right from there, and down. And we have done it. We made it to the top. Okay, we'll go over to the right, carefully, And then we can circle around here. But we have made it to Daventry. That's something. And we just follow the path, right? Huh? Did I go the wrong way? I followed the path, but there's supposed to be something here that I'm not seeing. So hopefully it's on the next screen. Unless I'm grossly misinterpreting what they're telling me. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so there's the waterfall. So that's what I figured. Okay. We'll drop a save there. All of that is from today, isn't it? Spells isn't. Waterfall. Okay. Then go into the waterfall. Yeah? There. Okay. And then we're going to type something out. Put fly wings and essence. Remember we did that before. And climb up here. What is this thing? Oh no, it's the abominable snowman! And that's why we need to have this already ready. So that we can fly out of here. Okay. And then fly to the right. The abominable snowman seems quite confused by this. He stares in amazement, then heads back to his cave. All right, and we go to the right. And we have bypassed the abominable snowman. You know, by being a fly. As the story goes, I'm sure. I don't know if there's any real stories about the abominable snowman, but yeah, we have defeated the Yeti. It's still right? Alright, what is this thing? Oh no, an abominable snowman. They told me to keep going right. But having the abominable snowman here makes me nervous. So we're going to go back left, which I'm supposed to do anyway. What is going on? He just keeps showing up. Why is there so much randomness in this game? Unless he's always showing up, but that's not what my guide says. Let's go where I'm kind of supposed to go, which is into that cave there. Nope, I just kind of flew over it. Why can I not go in the cave? Like, the black dot disappears, so I was over the cave. Is it still to the right? Right about there. Yep, he just keeps showing up. Fly east 2 screens and you will return. It just says fly east 2 screens and you'll return to normal, but I don't want to return to normal if the Yeti is continuing to show off. All right, your magic spell is wearing off, and there is the Yeti again. Your magic essence is all gone. Okay, now down. Bravely, you grasp the ice-laden rocks and attempt to scale the nearly vertical wall. Be careful, Gwydion. You congratulate yourself on successfully eluding the abominable snowman. All right, so we did it. Hooray. Okay, so I think this was where I was supposed to go because we avoided it. Jeez, don't. In here. There. Boy, are these caves dark. I don't like this. And then we should arrive at the top right. Okay. Then climb. Oh, I don't like the sounds of this. Let's call this, let's save here and call this a new sketchy territory. There's probably going to be a lot of these. You started climbing, I hit left, and then you died. Immediately. It doesn't even, like, it doesn't even give me its own little thing. That's why I dropped a save. Oh, so I just can't climb there? There. Okay, that's what I was trying to do before. Why weren't you letting me do that? To there? Okay, can I go further right? I don't think so. I think I have to go left here. Okay. And then down and up. Go left just a bit to be safe. And then down here and over. And that should lead me to the bottom right and the exit. I don't think we get any points for that. Okay. And then yeah, we'll just go east, and you know what? I'm gonna drop another save in sketchy territory in case I die again. There's so many places where you can just fall to your doom. Okay. We're so close. 14 points. Oh no. That does not look good. And I'm too scared to go diagonally because it's easier for me to do the controls with just the cardinal directions. All right, so I think we're out of sketchy territory. And I can just head south here. There we go. Whoops, you slipped. I was about to say, if you told me that I died at that point, I was going to be very upset. Okay. Let's save here, and it's still sketchy territory because we have stairs. Can I go up that way? It looks like it's mapped to straight on the diagonal. I don't believe I'm going further right on the stairs. Okay. Oh, spoke a little too soon. Okay, save, sketchy territory. Hold on. Okay, that is dealt with. I had something caught in my throat, but we're good to go and climb the stairs. And once again, it looks like it's mapped just right, so you can hit the diagonal and climb. It's been far too long since that has happened, so I'm happy to see it. Okay, we will motor out of here. It feels strangely hot up here. There is a reason for that. Okay, we will stop here and we'll put rub ointment on self. Okay. And now I'm invisible. And we want to walk to the right. This mystical cloudland may never cease to amaze you, but it has ceased to support you. Enjoy the trip. I was told it was to the right. Luckily we saved right there, so we're fine. It's fine. All right. Let's head all the way to the top, and we will do that again. And I'll drop another save. Just get out of here. Strangely hot up here. Okay, so maybe it is just to the left. Alright, we're invisible. We will save. And instead of the RB Pirates, we will call it the RB Dragons. Because we know what's coming. This is why I'm invisible. And we're going to assume that's on the left, not the right, like I was told. There it is. Alright, so now that we're here, we will stir the storm brew with a finger. Remember, we made that lightning storm brew. And then brew of storms, churn it up. Bolts of lightning strike the huge dragon. He howls in pain and falls to the ground, dead. We did it! Your magic spell is wearing off. Yeah, you don't have a lot of time for that one. Can I just, like, avoid the claws and all that? It's not death to touch the dragon, is it? Nope, because I did right there, but I still don't trust that the clouds are going to support me. There we go, and here is Rosella. So we will untie Rosella. You rapidly untie Rosella, Princess Rosella, from the wooden pole. She looks bewildered as to who her benefactor may be. I'm your long-lost brother, Prince Alexander, you proudly exclaim. The girl looks doubtful. So I'm Prince Alexander. They kind of told me that. I'll explain it all later. You continue realizing that now is not the time for this. Just follow me. Let's go meet the folks. With mixed emotions, the girl agrees to follow you. Catch up. Get here. All right. And now we have an escort mission. Let's go ahead and save. So it's sketchy territory. You can still die at this point. We still have 4 more points to go. So where we're going to go is to go see King Graham back at the castle, which means heading through here. They gave me a little bit of leeway here to make sure I got on the stairs properly. From here, we will hit the button, and since it's lined up properly, we shouldn't have an issue. So it's all the way down the stairs. Don't you back out now. Why? Get down here. Okay. I'm going down the stairs. I suggest you come with. All right. So she'll show up even if she can't figure out stairs. It's not just me. The game can't figure out what it's trying to do either. Okay, all the way down the stairs. Then we go west from here. Not entirely sure how we're going to do that, but we'll figure it out as we go. There, maybe up from there. No, I can just walk through there. Okay. Didn't see that, but there. And then there is the well. And we'll start heading north because there's a wall there. So they kind of point you in the direction that you need to go. There's home, your sister cries in delight. Mom and Dad will be so happy. Oh, yippee! You did it, your majesty! The gnome squeals in delight. I knew you could save us all. King Graham and Queen Valenice will be overjoyed to see you two. He claps his gnarled hands. I must run ahead to announce your arrival. The gnome spryly scampers towards the castle. Why is he so much faster than me? Are I not a hearty prince? Am I too soft from years of nobility? Why can't I walk faster? I feel like that I'm missing something, but I don't think I am in this version. The castle doors are wide open to welcome home a long missing son and a much-loved daughter. Atop the castle, the banners are proudly wave. The heavy feeling of oppression is gone. Hope has at last returned to Daventry. Now they're in control for me as we make the long walk back to the throne room. Very familiar from the first two games, but you see that we do have 210 out of 210 points already. We have done it! You nervously enter the throne room with your sister, Princess Rosella. Before the twin throne stand your parents, King Graham and Queen Valenice. Graham and Valenice are overjoyed to see you. Alexander. Oh, that's the mom. Alexander, where have you been all these years? Your mother exclaims. Adds your father, I'm so proud of you both. What a joyous family reunion! You are home at last! King Graham points to the mirror. That was once a magic mirror, son, he says sadly, but it has been clouded ever since the night you disappeared from your cradle. And it's all shiny now! Before your astonished eyes, the magic mirror clears and shines anew with brilliant clarity. Queen Valenice cries in delight, the terrible dragon is dead, our children are home, and the future looks bright for us all. The game knows how deadly the stairs are. That's why you couldn't just kill the dragon to restore the mirror. You had to make it back. King Graham lovingly retrieves his adventurer's hat with the red feather. With emotion, he tells you, Alexander, Rosella, this old hat and I have been through a lot together. Now it's time he had a new traveling companion. He flings it in your direction. Up and up it gently arcs. You raise your arms to catch it, and so does Princess Rosella. Down it comes, nearer, nearer. The end. Who knows who caught it? Find out next time on the adventures of King's Quest. Congratulations on your successful completion of King's Quest III. We hope you have enjoyed playing as much as we enjoyed creating it for you. May the adventuring continue with King's Quest IV. Spoilers, there's a King's Quest IV. And I think we are done. Timer stopped. I think that is the game played. And with the game played, it's time to talk about how it holds up today. Playing the game today, I did have fun playing King's Quest III. There's a lot of fun to have in the game. It is a big adventure game with bright colored graphics and lots of puzzles for you to solve and a good plot. And the breadth of the game is large. There's a lot to like about this game. And I think in some aspects there are improvements over the previous games. Like I said, the plot, I think the actual things that you do in the game, I think are more interesting in this game than they were in previous games. And I think that the overall scope of the game, where you kind of move around and the fact that you kind of have two different lands to go to, I do enjoy that. And I think those are improvements. I think the graphics are pretty much the same and the gameplay is more or less the same. So I won't spend a lot of time on those because we've played two previous King's Quest games. But with that said, it's hard not to see some aspects of the game as worse than the previous two games. And I would say that overall, I don't like this game as much as the previous two entries. And if you remember right, I said I didn't like King's Quest II as much as I like King's Quest I. So it just kind of has been kind of a downward trend since the beginning. So hopefully that does turn around. But let's talk about why I think that this game is not necessarily as good as the previous games. The mechanics of the game are kind of the main issue for me. The fact that so many things that you need to do in the game are random. It's kind of waiting for things to show up, which has been in the series before, but it's definitely more prevalent now, where you're just kind of going in and out of the screen, just kind of hoping that something happens. Granted, I didn't even see all the events that could stop me or kill me, simply because they didn't show up. The randomness was in my favor that time. But there are certain screens that if you go in and hang out, bandits will take all your stuff, and you have to climb into their tree house to get it back. There are enemies that will show up like that shark, or even the abominable snowman. There's a few other instances that I'm blanking on right now, but those enemies can kill you if they happen to show up when you need to get over there, let alone the bandit in that treehouse, which just seemed to be kind of a time kill. I'm not sure I would always think, even in, when this game came out, well, if I just leave the screen and come back, it'll reset the randomness. We'll roll the dice, see if they show up this time. I'm not sure I would think that, but that's how this game kind of functions. And as a result of that, you find a lot of things just kind of, all right, let's reset until it does what I want, and then I can make it forward. If you were playing the game without a guide, I'm not sure you would know, oh, I need to keep trying to get into the Three Bears house, and the only time I can do that is when they leave. Or I'm not sure you would think, oh, I need to get into that treehouse where the bandits are, but I just need to wait for that guy to be asleep. I'm not sure you're going to think that. You're going to see, oh, there's something there. Maybe there's an item or something that I need to get to deal with that. So I think without a guide, this game becomes a lot more frustrating. And I think that even with the guide, it can be frustrating simply because it's all random. You're just hoping to get the result you want this time. And I don't like that as a mechanic. But the worst part for me is the combination of the mechanic of randomness and kind of the hard clock in the game. That's what I've been calling it, because certain things happen when the clock strikes certain times. And the big one being Manannan, and the other one kind of being the ship. The ship's not as bad, but we'll talk about Manannan first, and then we'll talk about the ship later. Manannan, I think, is the worst part of the game. And granted, he's probably designed to be. He is, somebody that has captured you since you were a baby and enslaved you and is a terrible person. So, he's supposed to be the worst part of the game, but I'm not sure mechanically he's also supposed to be the worst part of the game, but that's how it ends up, because he basically stops your progress while he's active, which lasts for 5 minutes. So for 5 minutes, there's not really a lot you can do. There's certain things that you can do when you start the game, because you can grab certain items that aren't considered more or less illegal for Manannan. They're forbidden. But, then you're just kind of waiting for the 5 minutes to run out so that Manannan leaves, because he can show up at any time due to the randomness. And then he's gone on a hard clock for 25 minutes. So you're going to try to get as much done as you can in those 25 minutes. And of course, the game doesn't tell you that. You have to learn by practicing. This is not a game that's designed for you to beat it the first time you play it. The first time you play it, you're supposed to drop lots of saves and learn as you go and make notes. This is what happened. Manannan showed up at this specific time. And if you're not back in the house without the items that you're not supposed to have, you lose. So hopefully you know how to drop several different saves, because if you saved right before that 30-minute mark and you're in town and you don't have enough time to get back to the house before 30 minutes is up, you've screwed yourself over and you have to go to a different save. So the combination of the randomness and Manannan on the hard clock makes it not as fun. Like I said, I tried my best to make it on the first Manannan cycle of that first 30 minutes so that I could feed him the tainted porridge, but I didn't quite make it. And according to the clock, I when I timed myself going as fast as I could from the last save, I missed it by about 30 seconds. And although I could have done a couple things faster in the game, I'm not sure I could have saved 30 seconds to get it all on that first cycle. And the reason that didn't happen is because of the randomness. I kept on having to go back and forth for the bears. If they had showed up one or two times earlier, then maybe I would have gotten that. The eagle didn't show up, the first few times, because there were definitely several screens where the eagle could have shown up and didn't. So the fact that it took, I think, 10 tries to get the eagle to show up, it also probably cost me the 30 seconds. And then the one that stood out the most to me was the bandit. The fact that I had to go basically all the way down and all the way up 4 times in total cost me over 30 seconds. So if any of those had been better, then I could have done it in the first cycle, and there was just nothing that I could do. And so I ended up waiting for like 10 minutes with nothing to do, just hanging out around the house, waiting for Manannan to show up. And similarly, the ship works in real time. It takes like 15-20 minutes for the ship to go from Llewdor to Daventry. I was blanking on the name for a second there. But there's not a lot for you to do on the ship. I mean, you can look around, I guess, but the pirates are always trying to get you and they'll take your stuff. And then if they catch you, I believe twice, they'll kill you. So there's really nothing for you to do on the ship except wait. And I don't like when games just make you sit there and wait. It's one thing if I'm waiting because you're showing me a story or there's a small little scene or anything like that. But to just make my character stand still and wait for the clock to hit a certain point is not good gameplay for me. So there's a lot of frustration that comes along with this game. The combination of randomness and the hard clock, so you end up waiting. I don't think there's going to be a way for you to wait, to avoid waiting altogether. I seriously doubt that you time it just right to get Manannan on the first cycle and you get all the spells. What I was trying to do when I was trying to test out and where I got my 30 seconds is that I needed to just make the cookie, put it in the porridge, go back up and drop everything. That was the entire plan. And I missed it by about 30 seconds. And like I said, there was just not a lot I could do to make that faster. I would love if there was some sort of sprint button, some sort of run button for Gwydion. That would have probably sped up the 30 seconds, but as far as I know, there's not. So those were basically my biggest frustrations. The problem is those are a lot of the things that were changed from the previous games. So overall, I think the plot overall is better. I would have loved more of it. I always kind of just want more plot. I would love King Graham to kind of be more involved since he has been the hero from the previous games. I'm not sure I'm ready to move on to the next generation yet after just 2. But overall, the plot is good, and the scope and the puzzles and the adventure, I think, are good and interesting, and the fact that we have added spells that, add a lot of variety to what you can do. The deaths are creative, although stairs are still an issue. But overall, it's good, but not as good as the previous 2. So, would I recommend it to a modern audience? And the answer is you probably already know. If you liked King's Quest 1 and King's Quest 2, give King's Quest 3 a shot. Just know that it's probably not going to be as fun because of the mechanics that I talked about. It might be more fun to just watch somebody else do it, and then you can kind of experience it that way. This is not necessarily a game you need to play to enjoy. Maybe it's something that you can just watch somebody else play to enjoy. But if you don't like the King's Quest games, you're not going to like this one. This one's going to do nothing. This one has nothing so different that it's going to convince you, oh, I actually like the King's Quest games now. If you don't like the first 2, you're not going to like this one. But if you do like the first 2, this one is also worth checking out. Just know that, once again, going to be a little bit more frustrating, and absolutely get a guide. Get several guides. Let them tell you where to go, because there's a hard clock in the game. It's not fun getting lost and losing because you didn't know that Manannan shows up at 30 minutes in 60 minutes. It's just not fun. And that's my modern take on the game. When the game was released, King's Quest III would be popular. By February 1993, King's Quest III sold 250,000 copies. Critics at the time also tended to like the game. However, there were some complaints. Some critics felt that the game did not feel like a King's Quest game because it did not focus on King Graham of Daventry until late in the game. Others were upset with the automatic mapping feature since it reduced the challenge. Finally, some were upset with the use of what certain religious groups called black magic spells. Despite the criticisms, though, King's Quest III maintained its positive reputation over time. The game has been mentioned in lists of best video games of all time. King's Quest III to Heir Is Human would not be the final King's Quest game. We will return to the series in the future. As for Sierra Online, with another success on their hands, they would continue to be one of the premier adventure video game developers. We will hear from Sierra again as we continue. As for the individual creators behind the game, most would continue to work at Sierra creating games. However, this will likely be the last time we hear from Bob Kernighan and Annette Childs. That will do it for the story of King's Quest III for now. My name is ballerscuba. This has been Video Games Over Time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in our next video when we lock up.